I just got finished running on this thing, treadmill, about 25 minutes. You know, the whole time I ran, I actually didn't get anywhere. I was looking out this window. Love looking out on Quezon City. It's a beautiful city. But no matter how hard I ran, I didn't get anywhere. I never got out on the city, out into the streets. Never made it to some other destination. Not to City Hall out there, not to the memorial, or even over to UP. Just never got anywhere. You know, sometimes we treat life that way, don't we? We run and run and run, and we go and go and go, and we're busy and we're using up a lot of energy. Now, I run because, see, I need the exercise. Hindi malakas ako. So I know I need to do this, and so I'm running on this just to get some exercise, try to build up my heart. I'm not really trying to go someplace. But I think we sometimes go into life running, and we think we're actually achieving a goal, getting someplace, but we're not really getting anywhere. You know, Holy Week is coming up, and that's a time when a lot of people get on the treadmill and they run and run and run, doing lots of religious things. And I think they have a goal. Maybe you're like that. You've got a goal. Maybe you have this idea about God and you want to get to Him. And so you're running and running and running, and you're doing lots of things, trying to get to God. But for all the running that you're doing, you're not getting any closer to Him. You're using a lot of energy, and maybe it even makes you feel good for a little while. But you're not getting anywhere. And you know you're not getting anywhere. And the reason that you're not getting anywhere is because you're just on a treadmill. You're doing things that maybe feel good, and you feel like you're getting someplace because you're doing a lot and you're busy. And maybe even it hurts, just like it hurts me when I'm on that treadmill running. I don't like it, so it must be good for me. And the reason that you're not getting anywhere is because you're trying to do your own thing. You're trying to make your own way to God. Jesus told a story about people like that. In the Gospel of Matthew, he told a story about a king who gave a big wedding feast. And he invited lots and lots of people. Most of them didn't want to go. And so then he invited a bunch of other people that maybe normally wouldn't get invited to the king's wedding feast. And when they came, he even gave them the clothes they needed to wear, because in Jesus' day, people didn't just go to a wedding wearing anything, just like today. If I'm a sponsor for a wedding, then I go out and I buy a barong, maybe a husi barong, and my wife gets a special sponsor's dress, and we go dressed for the wedding. Well, in Jesus' story, the king provided the clothes for the guests to wear at the wedding. And so all of those who put on the king's clothes got to go into the wedding. But there was one person who came to the wedding, and he did not put on the king's clothes. He went and he wasn't dressed for the wedding. And it was like he was on a treadmill. He was doing his own thing. He was running, but he wasn't getting anywhere because he was trying to get there his own way, get into the wedding in his own clothes. And the king said, no, you've got to be in my clothes. At the end of the story, it's really sad because that person who wasn't willing to put on the king's clothes and go into the wedding the king's way was cast out into punishment. Maybe you're like that man. Maybe you're on parang spiritual treadmill. You are running and running and running and doing things that you want to do, and you think that that's okay, and you think that's good enough, and you think that you can get to God by doing what you want to do. But Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father. Nobody gets into the wedding except through him. You know, in my kitchen, above the counter, we've got this place where ants like to walk, and they make a trail. And we try to get rid of them, and every now and then I'll kill 2 or 3 of the ants, and it's interesting. When I do that, then all of the ants going one direction or the other direction, they just start scurrying, scattering, and going in different directions. And they can't seem to follow the line. And evidently, ants need other ants to keep them going in the right direction, either to get to the food or to get back to their home. People are kind of like that too. People are trying to find their way to God. Maybe you're trying to find your way to God, and you're like an ant that's just scurrying around. Maybe you're like a lost tricycle driver weaving his way through the neighborhood, going down one street and then down another street, and can't seem to find your way to the destination. It's because you need someone to show you how to get there. Now maybe you're thinking, okay, so are you the one to show me how to get there? Well, not exactly. Actually, the only one who can really show you how to get there is Jesus. Jesus is the one who can show you the way to God. And it's not through being on a spiritual treadmill. It's not doing lots of things. You see, we have the idea that if I just do the right things, then I can get to God and I can get to heaven. But Jesus said on the cross, it is finished. We don't have to do anything. Jesus already did it. It's done. And so I'm just asking you, especially at this time of year when we're thinking a lot more about God and Holy Week is here and people are doing lots of things to try to get to God or show their devotion to God. But they're like the ants without a guide, just going in all kinds of directions. They're on a treadmill, running and running and running, but not getting any closer to God. Are you like that? Jesus is the way. And down in the description of this video, there are some verses from the Bible telling you what Jesus said. Jesus said, no man comes to the Father except through him. So I want you to look at those verses and realize that you're lost, just like I was, just like every human being is. And you can't find your way to God. You can't get there on your own. You're just going to be on a treadmill, running and running and running and never getting anywhere. But Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. everybody who will confess that they're lost, they're wandering, they're running, they're looking, they're trying to find, and they're failing, can find God through Jesus Christ. Because He is God. Read those verses. Contact one of those people down in the description who would love to talk with you and show you from the Bible how you can get off of the treadmill. Stop wandering around lost, trying to find a destination without a guide, without a map.